I was 15 when my parents decided I wasn't worth the trouble anymore. Our house was small and suffocating, always filled with the stale smell of cheap cigarettes and arguments that never seemed to end. I wanted to stay in school. I loved school. But my parents wanted a paycheck. And when I accidentally revealed something about myself they didn't approve of, something they considered shameful, the last thread snapped. They tossed me out with nothing but a half-charged phone and a backpack. At first, I tried to pretend I knew what I was doing. I stayed in dingy budget hotels, spent my last bills on microwavable noodles, convinced myself I'd figure it out before things got bad. But money vanishes fast when you're young and scared. Soon it came down to a choice, food or shelter. Hunger won. The streets weren't unfamiliar. I'd walked them my whole life. But becoming part of them was something else. There were more kids out there than I ever imagined, half ghosts already, wandering alleys and sleeping under staircases. Most of us didn't talk about why we were out there. We didn't have to. You could read it in each other's eyes. I eventually fell in with a loose collection of teens who stuck to the east side of town. They weren't friends exactly, but being together made the nights a little less lethal. The closest thing we had to a leader was a kid named Rowan, a wiry, clever boy who had survived long enough to gain a strange sort of authority. He disappeared first. People whispered about a pale van crawling along back roads, swallowing kids whole. I ignored it at first. There's always a rumor on the streets, always a monster to blame. But then Lila vanished, then Tom, then Maeve. They were kids I'd sat beside at the shelter, kids I'd traded granola bars with, kids whose voices I could still hear when the nights went silent. One after another, they simply ceased to exist.